Thank you everybody for being here and welcome to the Germany Berlin 2026 information session. So today we have many speakers. So my name is Elizabeth Milena Frinta and I'm the Special Projects and Language Courses Coordinator for Germany, Portugal, and Spain. Then we have Professor Stefana Gargova here with us today, and she will be talking about the German 354 course. Her two student speakers are Aisha Khan, Crystal Lin. As for Professor Ilona Posner, unfortunately, she is unable to be here with us today. However, she has prepared a pre-recorded presentation for us. Then Barry Zhang and Bonnie Chen, they are the student speakers for the CSC 396Y0 course. So we wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. So today I will talk about what is summer abroad, why do summer abroad, and then we will get into the 2026 Germany Berlin program. The instructors, they will talk more specifically about their courses, the different field trips, and then the student speakers, they will talk about their experience with these specific courses. I will go through the eligibility, then how to apply, financial aid, and next steps. So Summer Abroad started in 1972, so we've been around for rather a long time. So how to think about summer abroad? Essentially, think of it here at U of T to earn a full course credit. Then you take a course, fall to winter, and then you get the one full course credit. With summer abroad, you go, so for example, to Berlin, and you take this course for a month, and then you get that one full course equivalent. The U of T courses, they're very relevant to the location. So for example, in the case of, the computer science course or the German 354 course, these courses, basically what you learn in class, you then get to apply. Like the minute you walk out of the doors from your classroom, Berlin is like your living textbook. It is taught by U of T faculty, so taught by Stefana Gargova and Ilona Posner, and the classes are relatively small, so usually 25 students per class. A very cool feature of summer abroad is the on-site staff. So the difference between summer abroad and an exchange. When you go on exchange, you are an international student and you are there on your own. So you have to fend for yourself. If there's something you don't know, then you have to figure that out on your own. The on-site staff, they are there for you 24/7. These are people that we hire. They speak German, and they're there to, let's say you get lost or you don't know how to buy the Deutschland ticket, maybe you need help with finding a pharmacy, they will help you with that. So the eligibility for these two courses, so in your application, careful which course you are applying for. For the CSC 396Y0, the prerequisite is any computer science half credit. The German 354 has no prerequisites. Then moving on to the program overview. This will be the 24th year of the Berlin program. Over 900 students have participated in the past. The program takes place from, so it's a month, Saturday, July 18th to Saturday, August 15th. There are two courses, as I mentioned, so computer science or the German 354 course. Classes are Monday to Thursday, 8:45 to 12, and they take place at the Humboldt University. So they are U of T like professors, instructors, but you are in the Humboldt University spaces. All courses have mandatory field trips, and these will occur outside the class hours. So do you remember, it is an academic program. Of course, we want you to have fun, but you are there to learn. So attend these classes, that you have to attend them, and also the field trips. So for example, let's say most days, the minute class is over at 12, then you have free time. However, on some days, you might have a field trip. Let's say at 2, you might go to a museum, so you have to attend that field trip. Program activities include city walking tours, welcome and farewell dinners, and the accommodation, so the hotel, that's arranged by us. You will be staying at the DoubleTree Hilton Berlin Ku'damm Hotel, and it's in the Los Angeles Platz. So it's very close to restaurants, cafes, markets, and as hotel guests, you will have access to the gym. Breakfast is included. So now on to our professor, Stefana Gargova. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session. Thank you for your time. My name is Stefana Gargova. I'm an assistant professor at the German department here at U of T. I specialize in German language, culture, and business practices with a focus on fostering cross-cultural competencies. At the University of Toronto, I lead the German business program, which is aimed at equipping students with the skills to navigate cultural differences and collaborate effectively in international business environments. Excuse me. My academic journey began in Cologne, Germany, where I earned my bachelor and master's in German and Nordic studies from the University of Cologne. And then after moving to Toronto in 2007, I completed my PhD here at the Department of Germanic Languages and Literatures. And I'm a regular visitor to Berlin, both for work and leisure. Now, you may wonder why Berlin, right? But this city offers really an unparalleled cultural experience that is both, I find, compared to anywhere else in Europe, it's accessible and budget friendly. There are over 190 museums to choose from, over 150 theaters and play stages, and three renowned opera houses in Berlin, not to mention all the historical sites. And to this ever-evolving street art scene, add to this the ever-evolving street art scene, outdoor festivals, and then you realize that actually it's Berlin, that's the city that never sleeps and constantly reinvents itself. It's just very affordable and very easy to get around, to explore and to navigate it due to its really great public transportation network. So all of this is to say that you're going to have tons of fun exploring this marvelous European capital, and you are most certainly going to make a few core memories. Uh, Berlin is also amazing because it gives you a chance to explore Europe from the rest of Europe, right? From Berlin's central location. You have very affordable travel options, and students can explore nearby European cities on weekends, enriching their cultural and geographical understanding. Berlin itself is a gateway to history, arts, and innovation. And I think it's a city that inspires growth in every visitor. Now, a little bit about the course. This course, I find it's actually impossible to replicate, outside of Berlin. And in that sense, it's unique because unlike traditional classroom settings, you will have immersive experiences like site visits to media companies, interactive, workshops, networking opportunity with industry professionals, which is a unique way to just bridging the gap between theory and practice. So you will expand your network and perspectives. Meeting other students, academics, professionals from diverse cultural and professional backgrounds really fosters connections that can shape both personal and career development, right? And that's what kind of matters to you. Berlin's multicultural landscape further just encourages this open-mindedness and collaboration that we're going to take into the classroom as well. I hope, and I think this is what happened last year, students really came away with a deeper understanding of cultural, historical, and socio-political factors that have shaped Berlin into the hub of creativity and entrepreneurship it is today and into that cultural capital of Europe. And we're going to examine industries such as print and digital media, film and gaming. So you are going to develop an appreciation for how these sectors and businesses contribute to the cultural identity and innovation, but also how they take it in, right, and reproduce it. It's also very important for me. I aim for students to enhance their critical thinking and interdisciplinary analysis skill. The program will challenge you to connect theoretical concepts that we're going to explore to your practical experiences through those site visits, workshops, right, discussions. So by the end of the course, I really hope that students will feel confident navigating the complexities of creative industries and just have a deeper, better understanding of the role that cross-cultural and socio-political dynamics play in shaping them. Above all, I hope that students develop a greater sense of curiosity about how creativity and business intersect, right? And feel more inspired to explore these connections further down your academic or professional path. So in short, bring along your curiosity, an open mind, but also the willingness to fully engage with both the academic and the experiential aspects of the program. I think it is an intense, but I hope highly rewarding experience. At least it was for me last year. So come prepared to kind of step out of your comfort zone and immerse yourself in the city and its unique culture in creative worlds, and just be ready to actively participate in group work, reflect on your experiences, connect what you see and what you hear to the course themes, right? And then lastly, I hope if you join this course that you embrace the opportunity to learn from your peers, to meet new people, because Berlin is a city that thrives on diversity and collaboration, right? And I hope that this program is reflective of this and the way it's set up. And last but not least, I've listed some of the field trips that we'll be doing this year. So you can see there's several museum visits that are going to help us really expand the context, like our knowledge in context. We're going to visit two publishing houses and a newspaper editorial office. We're going to visit Deutsche Welle TV as well as the AfD. This is the publicly funded news broadcast in Germany. We're going to Babelsberg Film Studios, one of the highlights of last year, as well as Ubisoft Berlin. This is a software gamer development that has headquarters in Berlin, and many more. Okay, that will be everything from me.
Thank you very much, Stefana. And now we will move on to the student speakers for the German 354 course. So there will be a total of 4 student speakers and 2 for each course. So firstly, we will begin with Aisha, and she is a 2025 participant of the course that we just heard about from Professor Garagova. So Aisha, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi, everyone. My name's Aisha. I am in my final year of studies in my undergraduate here at UTSC. And I, just like she mentioned, took this program last summer. It was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in my academic career, or just in general. I feel like it was very unique in the way it was set up. Honestly, the highlight for me was the way the course was set up to kind of not only give you that experience of, being in the classroom, learning about these interesting topics, but the way the different field trips were designed to kind of go hand in hand with that classroom learning. I think it was really cool for me. It was cool to see whatever we talked about in class the next day in person. So it was just something very new and unique for me, and I'm so glad I did it. It was incredible. Besides that, I feel like the second highlight for me is the fact that it was my first time traveling solo or traveling, without family. And I think it was the best case scenario in the sense that, like Elizabeth mentioned, we had such a great support from our program advisors, our professor, other peers. Just I feel like it was the safest scenario for a first time trip where I felt like I had a lot of people to fall back on. I think one of my biggest concerns about this program, which I'm sure others might have, was the fact that it was obviously in Germany, in Berlin. I thought there might be a language barrier. Obviously, I don't know my way around there. There's a lot of cultural differences between Toronto and Berlin as well. And all of those worries just kind of washed away when I was reassured that we had such a solid team of advisors and staff to kind of take care of us in a way. So I think this is definitely one of the key like things to remember. Like I know a lot of times students feel pressured that, this might be a little too much or it might be a little scary or something too new for me. But I don't know if it's the same advisors this year, but the advisors that we had last year did an incredible job. In even small things to big things, any major issues we'd had, they were there right away. Little things like where the classroom is, getting there. They really made sure in those first couple of days to get us nice and comfortable with the area. We even had a nice little tour of the city around us, like the small area around us. So by the time classes started on Monday, we were good to go. So yeah, I'd say like it definitely is worth considering if you have never traveled before like me. I can say after having completed it that it was best case scenario, it was comfortable. I didn't have any issues. The only thing I would also want to mention is a lot of times, yes, the program is there. We do want to focus on it, but remember that self-exploration, this is like the perfect time to do that. So when you get there, you'll realize that there's some things that you're enjoying more than others, some things you want to see more than others. So definitely worth taking that little bit of time after your classes and field trips to do more of that, do more of what piques your interest, whether it is, you had a field trip at the library and you feel like you didn't have enough time there and you really wanted to get into it and explore everything in more detail, take that time, go ahead and see those things. Even if you're into shopping, if you're into like tours, guided tours, there's always something. And then on top of that, I always go back to this, but our advisors, once again, if there's something that interests you even outside of the course that you want to see, if you talk to your advisors, they have some incredible recommendations. A lot of them have been there before, have done things there before, have also explored the area. So they have amazing suggestions on what else you can do outside of the course there. So 10 out of 10 for me. But I definitely think it's an experience that every student should take part in.
Thank you very much, Aisha. And now moving on then to our next student speaker. So Crystal, and she also took the same course last year. So Crystal, the floor
Hi,
is yours.
hi everyone. My name is Crystal, and I will briefly share a few personal experiences when I participated in this program. Uh, as you can see on the last slide, one of the most meaningful experience for me was to participate in a traditional printing workshop. We have learned to use like the metal type and a manual printing press. And I also co-created a printing piece with my group partner. Actually, this process made the learning feel very real and collaborative when we observe through the physical practice. And some of my favorite memories actually came from very simple moments. We saw a lot of nice streets in Berlin, like the Berlin Wall, and we also walked through different neighborhoods to explore Berlin's film history, film industry. In addition, one thing that really stood out to me was that we had a small class size with around 25 students in this course. We had a lot of opportunities to have a group discussion, which really helped us to develop our transferable soft skills, especially our communication skills. Another experience that was visiting the Klein Games, a game development studio in Berlin. During this visit, we had the opportunity to interact with the team. We learned about how creative ideas are applied in this professional setting, which was very interesting. And overall, this summer abroad helped us to have a great cross-cultural environment. And this also also very helpful when I applying to some graduate programs, because I would also willing to share the experience in the interviews. And I would like to say the summer abroad can be a good choice, and I would highly recommend.
Thank you very much, Crystal and Aisha, for shedding some light on this course. And of course, thank you to Professor Gargova. So now we will move on to the second course that is offered. As mentioned before, Professor Posner is unfortunately not here with us today. However, now I will play a pre-recorded presentation that she has prepared for us.
Hello and welcome to the 2026 Summer Abroad in Berlin information session for Computer Science 396, Designing Systems for Real-World Problems. My name is Ilona Posner. I love to travel and I love to teach, and this will be my 7th time teaching this course in Berlin. Why should you take Computer Science 396? If you would like to learn user experience design from an expert by solving a real-world problem in a small class, in a collaborative team environment, by building prototypes, iterating on designs, and conducting usability tests, while at the same time strengthening your communication and presentation skills and creating a portfolio-worthy project, this is a course for you. It also happens to be located in Berlin, Germany, right in the middle of Europe. And at the end, you will earn a full year course credit, including 1/2 a computer science credit, while at the same time having a great time and making new friends. You may wonder, why Berlin? Well, it's not because Berlin has a tower that looks very much like the Toronto CN Tower. Berlin is an amazingly vibrant city where you are surrounded by culture and history everywhere you look. It is full of contradictions. From 200 museums that contain artifacts from 2,000 years ago, and we will make an effort to visit many of them. Starting with a walking tour, we will see many important sites of Berlin. We will learn about the history of East Berlin and about the division of the city. We will visit monuments to the darkest chapters of German history. In the Musical Instruments Museum, we'll compare the design and evolution of instruments with our current technological challenges. We will see some amazing performances. In the German Museum of Technology, we will see a full-scale model of the first computer and marvel at its inputs and outputs. We will discover flight from the early visions from 1700s to the more modern challenges of engine design and airplane design. In the Futurium, Museum of the Future, we will encounter amazing interactive exhibits and installations making us think about real-world problems and solutions using robotics and other future technologies. Then we will visit the Human-Computer Interaction Lab in Potsdam, where we will have the opportunity to discuss with the research team some of the interesting solutions they are proposing for problems in virtual reality and novel fabrication using 3D printing and laser cutting. We will have a field trip to Wolfsburg, where we will experience the Fenno Science Museum, the Wolfenbüttel 16th century town, and history of automobile making, from the very first automobile of 1894 to the amazing experience of automobile purchase in the innovative automobile towers of Autostadt. We will visit the plant and watch cars being made. and be inspired by some of the brands and designs that are presented in the park. So you see, you can have a lot of fun in this class. But it's not all fun and games. We do actually have to work. The syllabus is available online. You can see all the details there. The calendar is available as part of the syllabus. You will notice there that our first class is on Zoom, and we start remotely on May 4th. There's some assignments before we get to Berlin. Our first class is where we all meet for the first time, and we create the project groups. There's some assignments that happen between the meeting time and arrival in Berlin, including one group meeting with the instructors team where we talk about your project in detail. Some of the highlights are already mentioned. The 2 encounters remotely, and then arrival in Berlin on July 19th, where we start off our program intensely in person. We have classes from Monday to Thursday in the mornings. In the afternoons, we go have field trips, and evenings opportunities for project work as well as free time. We have 3 days off every week, Friday through Sunday, where there are no classes. You have the opportunity to work on your projects and also explore Berlin and surrounding nearby cities. And our final day together is August 13th, where we will have our farewell dinner to wrap up the program, and you can start your summer vacation. You can see we work hard, we play hard, and students who have taken the course in the past say things like, I would retake the course every year if I could. It's a once-in-a-lifetime learning experience where you get real-world skills, new friends, and amazing culture of Berlin. It exceeded my expectations in travel, learning, and building a portfolio piece. I wouldn't get more hands-on UX experience in any other course, I can guarantee that. And it's a great reset. You meet amazing people, and you experience life differently. If you want to know more, please hear it from themselves. There are videos available of these testimonials of students from the past classes. And so, you should come to Berlin if you want to learn UX, work in groups, design systems, create prototypes, build a portfolio, see Germany, and have a good time. If you have any questions, please email summerabroad@utoronto.ca. Thank you very much.
All right, so we heard from the professor. So thank you to the professor for that great video. And now we move on to our first student speaker for the CSC 396Y0 course, Barry. And I will begin with a video that Barry prepared for us.
Yo, you want to see something cool? No? Well, I'll do it anyway.
No, nobody can do it like me. Zoop house plate with the kick cuisine.
All right.
Yo, you want to see something?
And Barry, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Barry. I'm a CS student. I took CSC 396 last summer. Yes, last summer, 2026. A few things that drew me to this course. Most importantly, it's a project-based course, so no exams, no essays. You do a project, you end up with something that belongs to you and the team. And I think that's just great. Just to learn by doing, learn to design by designing your own project. It's the best way to learn. And also, I think one thing that probably block a lot of people from considering this course is whether or not they need coding skills to be able to take this course. And the answer is you need zero coding skill. You don't even need to be technical at all. You're here to learn about user-centered designs, UX, and to build your prototypes, you don't even need to write a single line of code. You can use Figma. You can even use Microsoft Paint if you want. So there's that. And a few things stood out to me for my experience in Berlin, which is pretty magical from the video. So I think I had a pretty magical time. So one is that it has a very good transit system, so you can go anywhere very easily. It's all very well connected by the buses and trains and local subways. And they're all free in terms that you only buy once per month, like a monthly fee for the entire duration. And then you can go anywhere. I even went to like up north to the beach without paying for like a real train. It's just like local trains all the way there. So there's that. And in terms of food options, I think there's a various amount of food. It's not just European food. I even tried like Vietnamese baguette type of thing. Like they have Vietnamese traditional type of food, but like it's between a baguette and it tastes pretty good. So you have like those things. And if you want cheaper options, one thing I did is I went to the Riwi supermarket, like their local supermarket, and they provide all kinds of cheaper food alternatives. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Barry. And as you saw in the last slide, all those pictures were taken by Barry, and you can see that there were some amazing dishes there. So thank you once again for those amazing pictures, Barry. And on to Bonnie. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Bonnie.
Hi, my name is Bonnie, and I'm a third year CS student at U of T. And I took this course because I personally was really into human computer interaction and user-centered design. And additionally, because this course was in Berlin and I've always wanted to travel to Europe, I thought it was like the perfect opportunity to study both something I like and visit places I've always wanted to go. And what's really nice about this course is even though there's a lot of work, if you balance your time correctly, you'll get a lot of opportunities to travel and visit places you want to go to if you do your research ahead of time. Like personally, for me, with the Deutschland ticket, I was able to go to cities like Dresden and Cologne, which are decently far from Berlin, but they're still in Germany. And as well, on one of the weekends, I was able to go to Paris with my roommate and a group member, which was really fun and a city I always wanted to go to. And if not for this course, I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity to be able to travel to these places by myself and with friends. Also, another really good thing about this course is it really took me out of my comfort zone. And I tried a lot of things that I would not have even thought of to try personally, like visiting the Volkswagen, um, the Volkswagen Center. That was really cool. And it was a really, really unique experience that I personally would have never thought of and try. So this course is really good for trying new things and really learning a lot and really putting yourself out there.
Thank you very much, Bonnie, and thank you to all of the student speakers. So you already heard 4 student experiences, so I hope this helps with any questions with regards to the student point of view. So getting there, now we're getting more into the logistics. There is no group flight, meaning you are responsible for booking your own flight. However, we will give you recommendations. So, for example, we might say flight on this day and day is the most affordable, shortest layover time and so on. Plus, for those who, don't feel comfortable flying alone, by that point you will already have, you will know who's in your class and perhaps you'd like to fly over with some of your classmates. What's important, you must arrive in Berlin on July 18th. This is when the program starts, and already on July 18th, you will have the Berlin City Tour. You can either make your own way to the hotel to check in or the on-site staff. If you arrive before a certain time, then they can pick you up and take you to the hotel. With regards to transportation, when you're in Berlin, moving from the accommodation from the hotel to the class, or from, class and then you want to roam around Berlin, you can always go by foot, or there's the public transit. As Bonnie mentioned, the Deutschland ticket, that is also an option. So EDIA resources, of course, please do keep in mind you will be in a different country, so there are different norms, different perspectives, and so on our website we do have resources pertaining to the different student communities if you want to read up on, how these student communities, like what the challenges are. They're also site-specific, so you can look up for Germany specifically and how these communities, what their experience is. We do have a program coordinator, an EDIA program coordinator, so you can see the email on the slide. You can also book an appointment in case you have more questions. So how to apply? So most importantly, I guess a date to keep in mind is Wednesday, February 4th. This is by 4 p.m. You have to have had submitted your application. So first of all, you begin with paying the 210 application fee. It is non-refundable. In the application, you have the option to basically put an alternative. So let's say you would write down first choice, and that would be, Germany, Berlin. And then your second choice, in case you don't get accepted to your first choice location, then let's say you put down South Africa. So that way, if we don't consider you for that first location, you might be eligible for another location. Admission criteria, it is not first come, first served. We look at your GPA over the last 12 months. There have been students, who are on co-op, for example, for the past 12 months. So in that case, we look at your previous academic history. Then in the personal statement, you answer questions such as, why did you select this particular course? And we want you to talk about how it aligns with your academic and personal goals. So with these two courses, the German 354, as well as the computer science course, the prerequisites, for computer science, it's just half a computer science course for German 354. There are no prerequisites, meaning that there will be students from, different programs of study. But we want to know if, let's say, you're not a computer science major, or you're not, a person in humanities, nevertheless, why are you taking this course? How does it align, if not with your academic goals, then with your personal goals? And then, so that's the written application. And then the second component, after you submit the application, you pay the 210 application fee. Within 48 hours, you will get a link to the Kira Talent platform. You click on it, and then basically a prompt shows a question. You have 30 seconds to come up with an answer, and then you have 1 minute, and the Kira Talent platform records you, and then that video is sent to us. So it's like an online recorded interview. Admission decisions. So these decisions for Berlin, they will be sent out in mid-February. And so you will get your, if you are admitted, you will get your admission letter. So the note on the slide, that all that it's saying, it is conditional in that if the government of Canada says you can't travel out, then unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it. Then the program would have to be canceled. But otherwise, if you get an admissions letter, you have then 1 week to decide, am I going? Yes. Then you put down a $1,000 deposit so that we know you're serious about doing this program. And then in March or April, the remaining fees will be paid. This is a table with the costs. You can see the costs do differ depending on whether you are a domestic or an international student. They only differ in the course fee. The first section, so you can see fees paid to U of T. So that is money that is paid to us. Those are even the remaining fees that are paid in March or April. And this is, the application fee, course fee, and so on. So this is money that you pay to this office, the summer abroad office. The second half, the additional costs, this is not paid to us. This is, for example, if you buy, so you're in charge of your own flight ticket, then you pay the airline for your flight ticket. The same thing with meals. You're already in Berlin, you, let's say, buy a hot dog at a hot dog stand, that money goes to the vendor. The second half of the table, that is, so it's variable, meaning, for example, some students, they might not be flying out of Toronto, they might do some traveling before the program. So once again, the costs of the flight might be cheaper, might be more expensive. The same thing with your insurance. Your insurance company might give you a good deal, so it's very dependent on basically you as a student. All right, financial aid. If you go to our website, you click on financial aid, then it will take you to this page with all of the resources. So now I will just talk about the funding opportunities. So the Summer Abroad Awards. Applying for the Summer Abroad Awards, that is in the application. So the application that you're filling out, then there will be a question, are you eligible for the financial awards? Because they are needs-based, meaning, for example, if you are on OSAP, then you are eligible for the Summer Abroad Awards. If you're an international student, then that is not the case. But the Summer Abroad Awards, they do depend on the program, so the awards range between the 2,500 mark and the 7,000 mark. To be eligible, you need to have had completed at least the 4 credits by December and have had a minimum CGPA of 2.25, and it does not cover the full cost of the program. Other awards or scholarships, one that students highly recommend is the CIE Plus, so definitely check that out. You can also write emails to your registrar's office, to your different colleges. So for example, if you're at Victoria's College, write your financial awards office, and they can let you know if they have any bursaries, awards, scholarships available, or the different departments. Also see if OSAP is an option. Tomorrow, actually, we have How to Finance Your Summer Abroad Experience. It's also a webinar at 2. So if you go to the financial aid page, you can register there, and there will also be the OSAP officer, and they will walk you through how to basically finance this program. And on the left-hand side, you can see the different toggles. You can also look into the criteria, list, and additional awards. Visas and insurance. So you are responsible for your own visa. For Canadian citizens, basically you have to have a passport that is valid 6 months beyond the return date. So that would be the you look at the last date of the program. So it's July 18th to August 15th. So it would be August 15th plus the 6 months. International students, there is like a German consulate in Toronto, so do apply in Toronto if that is possible. We will provide you with the supporting documentation. Also insurance, that's another thing that you have to look into. Key dates, so if there's one thing to take away from today's session, February 4th, 4 p.m., everything, so the application has to be submitted by then. Then when you're on site, so this is when you're buying your flight ticket, key dates to keep in mind. You should be leaving if you're leaving from Toronto on Friday, July 17th, so that you are in Berlin on July 18th. Last day of classes is Thursday, August 13th, and then the departure date is Saturday, August 15th. Once again, if you want to, arrive in Berlin earlier, do some sightseeing, then you're more than welcome to. The same thing after the program, but you do have to make your own accommodation arrangements. So remember one last thing, when you are applying, make sure you're applying to the right course. We spoke about 2 courses. This is the timeline. So February 4th, that's the application deadline. February, March, this is mid-February is when you'll be looking out if you've received an admissions letter. Then you have the 1-week deposit, March or April remaining fees, and then also the pre-departure orientation. And then in July, off you go to Germany. You can follow us on Instagram, or we have our newsletter. We do a lot of our promotions there. You can also reach out to us, book an appointment. But otherwise, that is all in terms of the presentation that we prepared for you today.